Hi guys, it's Carl and I'm back for part 2 of my multiplayer level design series. If I say the whole thing, it's just going to take me longer than what it's already taken, 10 seconds. And the first thing that I'm going to go through two things, and the first thing is creating level restrictions and creating an even playing field. Those are the two key things I'll be going through. Might go through another one, but I'll see if I have time. So the first thing is creating level restrictions, right? I sort of prefer to call this creating the ground plane, simply because I'll show you why I call it the ground plane, right? I'm standing here on this piece of ground, and we're answering the question, yes, this is the lowest point, this is the lowest point in the map, lowest point in the map, but as soon as I fall off the map, we're constantly answering the question with, no, this is not the lowest point in the map, so I'm going to keep falling until I do, right? So, in essence, actually, like, you're basically telling the player that with level restrictions, right, with restrictors in the level, you're basically telling the player that this is as far as you can go, you can't go any further, turn around and get back into the game. Cool. But another effect of that is, right, if you have like multi-floor buildings like this, right, all the red buildings, by the way, are multi-story, multi-level. And basically you've said that, all right, this is as far as you can go for this level of the building, but there is something else underneath. That's just for me, though. All right, this is so that I know that it works. Excuse me. Right, so again, quick recap. The level restrictors tell the player where they can and can't go, and sort of also tell the player that this is the lowest point that you can be for now. Right, so how can we sort of visually display a level restrictor? There are heaps of ways to do that. In Fallout, they had invisible walls, right? They had invisible walls when you reach the corners of the game world. In games like The Last of Us, they had physical walls, buildings, and things like that. In, I believe, some of the levels in The Last of Us, they had like fences that you couldn't climb over. And in games like the same thing applies for Mass Effect, and in games like, I think the first Assassin's Creed, you couldn't swim. No, wait, that was sorry, that was Infamous. In Infamous, you couldn't swim. So there are many different ways of creating level sort of restrictors. The point of it, though, is that you sort of make it clear that this is where you can't go. You can't go past this invisible wall. Alright, so that was a recap for creating the level restriction. Alright, the next thing is creating an even playing field. This applies strictly to multiplayer maps, right? And for obvious reasons. If you're creating a team deathmatch map, this is probably more important. But an even playing field basically ensures that no team has an advantage over the other team. Let me show you really quickly. Alright, so I'm going to scoot over to this part of the map here. Right here, just above the guy's shoulder. I'll rotate him around. Right, just for those who are really picky. Right, and if I sort of look over his shoulder as if I was aiming in third person, that's pretty close to a third person aim. Right, I can see the other guy on the other side of the map, right? He's just over there. Now, obviously, this map isn't finished, so when I actually do finish the grey box stage, I probably have a harder time seeing him. The point is, though, right, by creating an even playing field, I've created a Killbox that favors no one team. Right, so when you're creating a multiplayer map, you should be creating it with the mindset that either team can win the match. Either same thing. Either team can win the match, right? And it comes down to the player's skill, not where they spawn on the map, right? If you take a look at any multiplayer level, right, start up a private game or something, and sort of take a tour around the map, you'll see that even though the map doesn't feel symmetrical, it is. Alright, it's even. It might not feel even, but it actually is. And obviously with this particular level, I've created a sort of Mexican standoff sort of straight shot alleyway down here. And there is a way to avoid that, and the way to avoid that is by, well, there's one word for it: props. Right, I don't have the props right now. I have a few free 3D stuff. Actually, I haven't had a look at them yet, so let's take a look. Okay, we'll chuck in this we'll create a new game object for that. I have hotkeys for creating game objects, thanks to my teacher. And that's actually really useful. We've got props, and we'll just grab this car damage level or whatever that is. Oh, cool! Comes with like normal maps and everything. This is the first time that I've actually seen this. I really shouldn't be going through this concept, which is using 3D space, but I'm really curious. I am really curious. Yeah. Yep. Just put that there. Oh, let's chuck in this level 6 one. Oh man, I'm liking that. Let's check that in as well. Oh, that looks cool. That looks cool. Oh man. No doubt. That's super sweet. Alright, so I'm gradually filling in 3D space, and each time I put in a prop, it's starting to feel less and less like a Mexican standoff, sort of straight shot. I can see you, I'm going to shoot you, you're dead sort of feel to it. By adding in props, you also give the players a chance to take cover behind them, which makes sense. You want to do that. You don't want to make it feel like it's sort of one-sided. And a lot of players will think that. Trust me, a lot of players will think that a level is one-sided, because a student, when I was doing the course, sort of thought that with a level that somebody else made, even though the actual person that made it thought that it was fine. So that's one thing that you should be aware of. I'll just get rid of these props. But make sure that you get other people to playtest your level, like constantly. Get their feedback, because that is super important when you're making a game like a multiplayer game. And even if it is multiplayer and you just have the one person, just have a few bots running around and sort of get the feel for it. But yeah, that is all that I have for this video. Wow. So quick recap. Make sure that your level restrictions or level restrictors are well placed and that they look believable, right? Because you do want your players to be into the actual game, not sort of wandering off doing whatever. So make sure you have level restrictors, and make sure that when you're making a multiplayer level, that you have equal sides without without sort of making it feel like one team has the advantage, or without making it feel flat. So make sure there's a kill box in between the two bases. All right. So in the next video, we're gonna finish gray boxing my level, so that I can go through a really important concept, which is silhouetting buildings, and so that you guys can sort of follow along with the concepts I'll present then. But until then, I'll see you later. And one more thing, if you want to follow along, I really think that you should, because learning as you watch these videos is going to be more important. And if you want me to check your levels, if you want me to check your levels, and I'll be happy to give you critique on them, right? Just post like a video of like you either playtesting your level, or sort of have a screenshot of something like that, and I'll be able to show you guys where you can improve your level and make it more interesting. But until the next video, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, have fun and make heaps of levels. I'll see you guys later. Bye.